Children, so far we discussed about how the women and children used to work under the harsh condition in the factories. Now we will discuss further about the life of the children in the factory. Factory managers considered child labor to be an important part of the industrial development. Why they used to call the child labor as the important part in the industrial development? Because they believed that children can be given a better training to become a good industrial worker in the future. Because it is important training for the future work. They required workers in the industry in the future. As a result, they wanted to give the training at the age of childhood so that they can become a better worker in the future. That's why, by giving this kind of logic, they believe that child labor is required for the development of industrial sector in the country. British factory records reveal that about half of the factory workers had started work when they were less than 10 years of age. It means most of the workers in the factory were having age less than 10 years when they started working in the factory. It means child labor was most prominent in England at that time. 28% of children were under the age of 14 years. Now the minimum working age for a child is 14 years, but at that time 28% children were below the age of 14 years who were working in the factories. Women may got financial independence and self-esteem from their job. Women were working under a harsh uh, working condition, but still they enjoyed that they are financially independent and now they are no more dependent upon for their uh, economic condition, and they can earn a better self-esteem in the society by working in the factory. Still, so they wanted to work in the factory despite of the harsh working conditions because of this reason. And this is due to the condition of their work. The circumstances made them strong. The working condition was not good, and under working in that harsh working condition, mentally and physically they became stronger. Now they can face the world with better strength and enthusiasm. Now you can see that there are a large number of people who have gathered over here. These are the industrial workers who rose in the protest against the factory owners and government. So now we will discuss about the protest movement. Now the protest movement. During the early age of industrialization, new political ideas raised by the French Revolution. French Revolution took place in 1789, and because of this French Revolution, the ideas of liberty, fraternity, and equality came in, and industrial workers were also affected to these French ideas. The movement for liberty, equality, and fraternity encouraged mass action, and this collective mass action was seen in France during the Revolution, and this the same sort of mass action now was visible in England. It created democratic institutions like the French Parliament of 1990. So there was French Parliamentary Assembly, which was made in the France in 1790 after 1889 revolution, and that used to do the welfare work for the people. Now the workers in England also wanted that there should be the same kind of system as it is, who can work for the common people, who can check the price hike in the market, because the prices of the daily commodity was very high in the market, and that was not within the limit to be purchased by the factory workers. Now in England, political protest against harsh working conditions in factories began to increase. The people started rising up against the harsh working conditions in the factories. The working population agitated to be given the right to vote. Now workers believe that by getting the right to vote, now they can present in parliament, England, and they can legally do something for the welfare of the workers. So they started demanding the right to vote, because at that time the right to vote was limited to the landowners and property people in England, not to anybody, not to the working class people. Government adopted repression and made laws. Now government wanted that this demand should not be accepted, and they started with workers, and they made certain laws which was against the working population. Now what were these laws that we will discuss? England had been at war with France for a long time, that is between 1790 to 1850, and it was with the France after the rise of Napoleon, and Napoleon finally got a defeat in 1815 at the Battle of Waterloo. Then this war ended. But during this wartime, there was less economic growth in England. The life of common people was affected because of the continuous war, because of the war expenditure. The economic condition of Britain was also declining, and trade between England and other European countries because of this war which is between France and England, because Napoleon followed the policy of blockade and it blocked the trade of England with the rest of European countries. As a result, the earning of the common man was highly affected of the Franco-England war. Factories were forced to shut down. Now factories were shut down and the workers of the factories were employed on a large scale in the army so that they can fight war with the France for England. And when the factories were shut down, the children and women who were employed in the they also became unemployed. So unemployment grew in a large scale. As a result, the income of these workers were also declining, and the condition which was already very harsh for the working population, now it became more worse. Price for essential commodities also increased. Now the workers were not able to purchase the daily commodities for their consumption. As a result, they rose in government policy. Now, the government started repressing cycle against the working class and they passed some acts and laws. In 1795, the British government passed two combination acts, and these combination acts were mainly aimed to repress the worker so that they do not rise against the first of all illegal to incite people by speech or writing or to hatred or contempt to the king, constitution and the government. Means no writer can write against the government and in this way he cannot incite the people against the government policy. Right? And they strike against the government policies. It cannot be done by anybody. Anybody is doing so, he is found guilty, he could be imprisoned and he could be punished by the law. So that was a part of Combination Act which was passed in 5. And it also banned unauthorized public meeting over 50. Means no one can gather more than 50 in place and he cannot give kind of uh, speech which can incite the people. It was considered to be. But despite of these two combination act, the protest continued and it could not be stopped by the government. Now members of parliament at that time mainly were the landowners, manufacturers and professionals. They uh, opposed the demand of the public or the general public or working population that they should be given the right to vote because most of the power of the parliament was in the hand of the landowners, factory owners and professionals, and they did not want to share this power with the because in this way their power would be reduced. So they opposed the demand of the common man or working population. As a result, the demand of the working population was not fulfilled of the right to vote. Workers supported uh, foreign laws which prevented the import of cheaper food until price in Britain. So these professional workers, industrialists, they also supported the government's corn laws. Government also passed corn laws, and under these laws, the cheap corn which used to be imported from US was banned. As a result, corn which was a staple food of the people of England, now it became very costly and it could not be purchased by the common man. So the corn laws was against the working population and this made their life more miserable. Then there was no other way but to protest against the government policies and people started rising up government in protest. You can see that this is the image of protesters who are protesting against the government decision of corn laws. You can see that the name has been written over here, no corn laws. As workers flooded in the town and factories, they expressed their anger and in numerous protests. There were bread or food riots. Food riot and bread riots took place in England, where the hoards of food and bread were looted by these workers. Bread was their food and its prices determined their standard of living. Bread was the basic necessity of the common man, and its price used to be very high. And when its price used to be very high, two square meals could not be purchased by the worker, and that was going to affect their health and their living. Workers seized the stocks of bread and distributed among the common. The hoarding of the bread and food was there at that time by the rich people, so they were looted. Their godowns were looted by the workers, and after looting these godowns, the stocks of the bread was distributed among the common people. And you can see that this kind of riots took place throughout the England at that, and such riots continued up to the 1840s. Next is enclosure. Now, what is enclosure? You can see in the image also that there are many small farms. Like these are the small farms. They were collected together, and it was made a big estate, and this big estate is called as the enclosure. So it's a process started from 1770s that hundred of small farms merged into the larger one of powerful landowners. There used to be the small farmer in the rural areas. Their economic condition was not good. As a result, to get the employment in the industry, they left their rural area or their village and they reached to the, and in the city they wanted to join the industries and they wanted employment in the industry. Because the small field which they were having in their village that was not able to fulfill their uh, necessity. As a result, they sold their small farm, and this small farm was purchased by the rich businessmen or rich landowners, and they made it a bigger farm, and it was called as the enclosure. But introduction of machine. Now enclosure was a big estate and it was owned and operated by the rich landowner. So he wanted that most of the work should be done with the machine because it used to use the production. As a result, the workers were replaced with the machine. And this was also again a pro for the worker. They lost their job in this bargain. And in 1790s, workers demanded minimum wages. Now their wages were also reduced, and now workers started demanding that they are not able to fulfill their daily necessities with the meager wages which they are getting from the landowner and the government. Their wages must be increased. So they demanded for a better wages, but it was again refused by the parliament. The demand was not fulfilled by the parliament. Now, the protest movement. When workers went on strike, they were dispersed by the force, and one such gathering took place in Lancashire. And Lancashire is the famous industrial region for the cotton textile industry. So the cotton weavers gathered over there, and when they became unemployed because of the coming of the machine, and the machine was the power loom, it was destroyed by the weavers of the Lancashire because they believed that the power loom had snatched their employment, and because of this machine they have become unemployed. The machine was destroyed by the worker. Many places workers agitated against the introduction of machines which they thought it destroyed their livelihood or their life. You can see from the image that how the workers destroyed the machine. In Yorkshire, shearing frame, that was a harvesting machine which was used for harvesting the crop. You can see that this is the machine owner who is trying to stop this, but the workers are breaking the machine. Why they were breaking the machine? Because in agriculture also, and the rich landowners used to make use of machine of the workers, so workers became unemployed, and they believed that when the machine is working, they will not get employment. They broke down the machines. Rioters massed threshing machine in 1830. That was also an agricultural machine. and 9 of them were hanged and 450 were sent to Australia. Many of them were hanged, executed, and maximum workers of this sort of criminal background were sent to the Australia. Australia was newly discovered island or the continent by the first James Cook made the discovery of Australia. So they wanted that these kind of people should be sent away from the country. As a result, these were captured and the ships and carried them to the Australia, from where they never returned back. So Australia was chosen as the new place where these kind of people were sent from England. And most of the descendants of Australia till date are the descendants of these workers. Next is Ludism. This is another sort of movement which was started by the working class against the government, and it was started by General Ned Ludd. Who was General Ned Ludd? You can see from the image he is Ned Ludd. And it was not only an assault, he made some programs of the protest and he gave direction to the protest. And he also made the demand that it was not only an assault on machine is sufficient. Machine should not only be broken. There are certain other demands which have to be fulfilled. Its participants demanded minimum wages. Those who became the follower of the Buddhism movement, they demanded the minimum wages. They wanted that there should be control of the labor of women and the children. They should be less employed because of harsh working conditions. Work for those who have lost their job because of machine. He demanded that those people should be given the work who had lost their job because of the arrival of the machines. The right to form trade union. They should be given the legal right to form the trade union association and whereby they can legally present because it was stopped after the passing of the Combination Act of 1795. Then they started the protest movement under the leadership of Ned Ludd. And during the early years of the industrialization, the working population had no right to vote. Now they were demanding the right to vote, and they were having no legal method whereby they can express their anger in the parliament and they can get the bill or the law passed for their welfare. In August in 19, for the demand of right to vote, 50,000 people gathered, and they gathered at St. Peter's Field in Manchester, and they wanted to claim the democratic rights of political organization, public meeting, and freedom of press. But instead of fulfilling their demand, they were crushed by the government. They were repressed brutally by the government. It came to the massacre. The right they demanded were denied by the Sixth Act passed by the Parliament in the year, and this massacre, which was done by the government at that time, that is called as the and finally the protest continued and the Combination Act, which was passed by the British Parliament, that was repealed after 1824-25. Means the Combination Act, which were against the working class, that was finally finished by the government in 2025. Then the reforms to the laws was done that we will discuss in the next